What's up Top 10 fam, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. Now Christmas is right around the corner you guys, it's already December, the festive lights are up, the Christmas markets are in full fledged, and although I don't celebrate, I am here for it all. We stan so hard. But Christmas isn't all just eggnog, Santa Claus and presents. It's darker than you guys think, so saddle up you guys. These are the top 10 Christmas traditions with dark origins. Starting us off with number 10 is caroling. Now I've never had any carolers come to my door, but that's probably because I live in an apartment and that would be weird. But it's been a thing since the 17th century, but it wasn't as nice and cheerful as it is now. Carolers or wassailers used to arrive at people's houses completely unannounced and demand the residents give them their finest drink and food. And these demands weren't just verbal, sometimes they'd threaten violence or rape, they'd physically destroy the property and the homeowner's items, and sing lyrics like if you don't open up your door, we'll lay it flat upon the floor. One Catholic minister was against caroling so much so that he rallied against it, saying it drove people to rioting and fornication and everything that just wasn't Christian. Who knew carolers were actually just dicks? Coming in at number 9 is Father Christmas, the big jolly man himself. Now most people believe his origins can be traced back to St. Nicholas, who we'll talk about later on. But through research I found out that Harper's Weekly magazine published what's meant to be the first ever illustration depicting the modern Santa Claus, and that was in the 1860s, so it's really not that modern. In that illustration he's wearing green robes, not the red ones we're used to, and he was even mixed with the legend of the Green Man. The Green Man was this person who ruled the forests and woods in pagan belief, and last time I checked, pagans and Christianity are not the same thing. In Germany, for example, Father Christmas had a dark side, and that came in the form of Krampus, who was said to be his evil helper. He was the bad cop to Santa's good cop. So Santa was either St. Nicholas, he was either a pagan forest man, or he was a Batman and Robin duo with Krampus. Any of which are that good actually, now that we think about it. Santa Claus, you've done me wrong. Betrayed me. At number 8 we have milk and cookies. Now Santa Claus is a lucky guy, man. He's getting all these cookies and milk from every house he visits. Honestly, no wonder he has that much energy to just go around the world. But this tradition was actually rooted in everyone being poor during the Great Depression. What a plot twist, I know. Leaving cookies and milk and maybe some carrots for reindeers originated in America during the Great Depression. Since most families were going through major economic hardship, parents tried to teach their kids that it was important to give to others even when they didn't have much to give, and to obviously show gratitude for any present that they did get that year. But 80 years later, everyone's still doing it out of the niceness of their hearts, or maybe they just want to bribe Santa for better presents, but it's not gonna work, my man. That's gonna get you straight on the naughty list, and you're not getting any presents for that. Facts. Straight facts. Filling on number 7 slot is St. Stephen's Day, which is the 26th of December. Now Irish Christmas celebrations go beyond the 25th and up until very recently used to involve bird murder. Yes, you heard that right. St. Stephen's Day used to be celebrated by killing a wren, putting it on top of a decorated pole, parading it from house to house while singing and demanding money for their deed. It's like the meme where it's like, no one, Irish people demanding money for killing a bird. Anyway, going on the wren or Jenny hunting became a thing because apparently St. Stephen himself was betrayed by a wren, and the practice continued till the 1930s, which really wasn't even 100 years ago, you guys. So really, we need to stop bird murder. We should have stopped bird murder a long time ago. Now at number 6 are baubles. I've literally always wanted to decorate a Christmas tree. It's been my dream for my entire life and I've never done it. Just remember you guys, if I die and I didn't do it, just remember my soul will not rest. It will come back to haunt you. Now traditionally, the act of hanging toys and treats from your Christmas tree was German in origin, but baubles and glass-blown spheres date back to the 17th century and originated from a very spooky idea in Britain and Ireland: witch balls. Yup. Now witch balls were these glass spheres that had silver inside them and were believed to shoo away evil spirits. When they were first created, they were put in windows to neutralize the evil eye of any passing witch by reflecting it back at her or confusing her with the pattern. People thought the bright colors of the balls would entice and trap the witch and other dark spirits inside of it. Some people even filled them with holy water for even more protection. Either way, they somehow moved from the window to the tree, I don't know how, but I'm guessing it was because people wanted even more protection during a holiday that was so very holy. I think that's a pretty good guess. Coming in at number 5 are Christmas parties. Now everyone loves those cheeky Christmas parties where there's Secret Santa and a bunch of alcoholic hot chocolate and everyone's just getting fat and drunk. Who wouldn't love that? I love that. Well, firstly, I'm gonna hit you with some facts. Now, Christmas wasn't always celebrated on the 25th. The birth of Christ was only confirmed on that date 300 years after the fact. Before that, his birth was marked on at least 3 different dates, one in March, one in Jan, and one in June. It was just all over the place. Coincidentally, December 25th was also the same day of the Roman festival of Saturnalia and the winter solstice. This festival was dedicated to the Roman god Saturn, and it involved continuous unrestrained drinking, the role reversals between masters and their slaves, criminals were allowed to run rampant and do whatever they wanted, schools were closed, the rich were encouraged to give presents to the poor so they wouldn't be robbed. Christmas parties are wholesome now, but they started off as proper shit shows. At number 4 are stockings. Now, I've really always wanted my own stocking with my name on it just hanging above the fireplace, but alas, my dreams are still just dreams. Now, filling stockings with treats is all fun and games now, but its origins are rooted in poverty and illness. Who would have thought? The tradition apparently started when a 4th century bishop, St. Nicholas, heard an old man complaining about how he didn't have any money to supply each of his 3 daughters with a dowry. And back then, dowries were a very big deal. Any girl that didn't have a dowry wouldn't be allowed to get married and probably would have become a concubine in order to sustain herself. Now, St. Nicholas's heart went out for this old man so much that he snuck into their house at night and saw that they had hung some stockings above the fireplace to dry. He stuffed them with bags of gold, and the impoverished family lived happily ever after. Filling our number 3 slot is mistletoe. Okay, spilling some tea here. I've only ever been kissed once under mistletoe, and that was when I was 12 and it was my first boyfriend. I had butterflies, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now, typically the mistletoe is a plant you're meant to be kissed under, but back in the day it was seen as a symbol of friendship by the Druids. Druids were meant to be religious leaders, mediators between humans and God. They were types of law keepers. This symbol was not received well by religious leaders in England, and so it was banned. Years later, the York Minster Church started holding mistletoe service each winter, where criminals could come to the church with their own sprig of mistletoe and be pardoned for their crimes. So before it was a romantic plant, it was a criminal's God-sent herb. Good to know. Now at number 2 is Good King Wenceslas. Now, when I first read that title, I was like, what is this obscure Christmas carol song that no one's heard of? But then I YouTubed it and I was like, wait, I do know this song. Kinda goes like, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Now, hopefully you guys recognize the song now based on my lovely a cappella version, and now we're gonna just move swiftly on and pretend I didn't do that. So this song is supposedly about a nice king who helps out a poor peasant during a snowstorm. But the inspiration for the song was a real person who died a horrible death. Now, Wenceslas I, Duke of Bohemia, was born back in 907 AD. His father died, so he was raised by his mum, who was the daughter of a pagan tribal chief. Fast forward to 935 AD, Wenceslas's brother gave orders to murder him, so he was stabbed repeatedly with a lance while praying in church, and then he was dismembered right in front of the chapel. I feel like if you get killed in a church, surely that's like your straight ticket to heaven, right? That has to be your straight ticket to heaven. If you get murdered in a holy act, surely you go to heaven. I'm gonna put my money on it. Wenceslas, I see you. Finally, at number 1 is down the chimney. So hopefully the only person coming down your chimney is Santa Claus, because we really don't have time for any other shady ass to be coming through there. But we have had a lot of shady creeping into the homes of families through chimneys, and it is not okay. European legends tell us of malicious supernatural creatures that used to break into houses via the chimney. In the Middle Ages, it was thought that witches came into houses through chimneys and robbed cribs and the babies inside them. In Greece, the Kallikantzaroi goblins were the ones that crawled through the chimney and terrorized families and just stole stuff from them. In conclusion, nothing good has ever come down a chimney other than Santa Claus. Let me just put that out there. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys are really in the Christmas spirit. December is such a festive time. I hope you're having a good time with your loved ones. As always, I'm your host, Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Merry Christmas! Did I do that? Did I do that? Big breath needed. Carolers or wassailers. Looking out into the distance. But the tradition, you know what I mean? You got that right? Going on the wren, going. Yeah, happy Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas, yeah. Bet you didn't know I could do that. Now you do. When the snow lay round about deep and crisp and
Deep and crisp and even. It's like that.
When the snow.
No one down deep and crisp.
Yeah.
And even.
Shout out to Abby for helping me get that beat right because I was not on it. I love how you had the whole stomp going. I love it. The end. The end of the video. Yeah.